Hello, this is Sara with Posh Pooch Designs, and today's video is part 1 of a 2-part set. Part 1, we are going to be making the American Girl style doll hat. It will fit an 18-inch doll. And then part 2, we're going to be making a matching hat for your little girl. And then they can wear their set together as a Dolly and Me spring hat set. Now these are made out of worsted weight number 4. And I believe these original hats are made out of Red Heart Love, but we're going to be using Red Heart Super Saver. And I like to use this yarn for doll things because it works up quick and it is pretty much washable. We're going to be making the little American Girl doll hat in this video. And I'm going to be using this yellow yarn for the main body of the hat. I'm going to make the flower using a little bit of brown for the center of the flower and then using white for the flower portion. And then we'll use blue down here and then we'll trim it with some white. I chose to use these 4 colors because I thought they said summer and spring. And since this is really springy colors, I thought I'd go with more summer colors. Now we are going to be using our H hook. And you're also going to need a needle for weaving in your ends and sewing on your flower. Now if you want to have a little button on your flower, you certainly can. Just keep in mind that if you're giving this to a child that's under a certain age that'll put that button in their mouth, they might choke on that. So keep that in mind for whomever you're making this hat for. And of course you'll need a pair of scissors. This is called the Spring Dolly and Me hat set. And like I said, for today's video, we're just doing the Dolly hat. And for part 2, we're going to do the hat for the little girl. This is a free pattern on my blog, and I'll put that blog link in the notes underneath the video. So we're going to begin by working the hat body. We're going to start up here and work our way down, and then we'll make the simple little 5-petal flower. So to get started, we're going to begin by chaining 4 chains. Here's my slip knot. And now I'm going to chain 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have 4 chains, and we're going to place our first double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. And those first 3 chains are going to count as my first double crochet. So we're going to place 9 double crochets in that same chain for a total of 10 double crochets. This hat is basically stitched in double crochets and chains so that it will work up really quick, and of course the trim is done in a single crochet for a finished edge. Alright, let's count what we've got here. Here's our first 3 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eight, 9, and 10. Now we're going to join to the top of that chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. And this is what you need to have after row 1, our chain 3 and then 9 double crochets for a total of 10 double crochets around, and then chain 3. For row 2, we're going to place 1 double crochet in the same stitch as the chain 3, because this row and every row, the chain 3 counts as a double crochet. And then we're going to place 2 double crochets in each stitch around. Yarn over, go right in that stitch, and stitch 2 double crochets in each of the double crochets around, and that'll take us from 10 double crochets to 20 double crochets. Two double crochets in each stitch around, and then join to the top of the chain 3. 2 double crochets in each double crochet around took us from 10 double crochets on the first row to 20 double crochets on the second row. And now we're going to join to the top of that chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. Now for row 3, we're going to place 1 double crochet in the same stitch as that chain 3 again. And then we're going to place 1 double crochet in the next double crochet. And then we're going to place 2 double crochets in this next double crochet. 1 and 2. And this row we're going to be doing 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets all the way around. And this is going to take us from 20 double crochets to 30 double crochets. So 1 double crochet in the next double crochet, and then 2 double crochets, 1, 2 in the next double crochet, 1 double crochet, and 2 double crochets all the way around. And then we'll join to the top of that chain 3 again. And like I said, this is going to take us from 20 to 30 double crochets on row 3. So I finished my third row of 1 and 2, joined with a slip stitch and chained 3. Now for row 4, we're going to place 1 double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3, and then we're going to place 1 double crochet in the next 2 double crochets, and then 2 double crochets in the next, and that's the way our pattern will go. 1 double crochet in the next 2 double crochets, and then 2 double crochets in the next. 1, 2. And we'll repeat this all the way around. I call that 2 and 2. 1 double crochet in the next 2 double crochets, and then 2 double crochets in the next. And this is going to take us from 30 double crochets to 40. And then we don't have to increase anymore. 1, 2, 1 double crochet in the next 2 double crochets, and then 2 double crochets in the next. And again, we'll do this all the way around the hat. For row 4, we'll join to the top of this chain 3 and then chain 3. I've joined and I chained 3, but I need to chain 1 more because for the beginning of row 5, we need to have 4 chains. We're going to skip the next double crochet and then double crochet in the next one. We're going to chain 1. We're going to skip the next double crochet and then double crochet in the next double crochet. And we're doing this so that on our hat we can make this row right here. Double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. And we'll do this all the way around the hat. And that's just a fun little open weave texture to give it a little bit of a springy or summery look. So we're going to chain 1, we're going to skip the next double crochet and then double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, skip the next double crochet, and double crochet in the next. Really simple. Chain 1, skip the next double crochet, and double crochet in the next. And that's the look that you're going to get. We chained 4 at the beginning of this row because it counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. Double crochet, chain 1, skip 1. Double crochet, chain 1, skip 1. We'll do this all the way around this row, and then we'll join to the top of the 3rd chain, not the 4th, because the 4th chain counts as a chain 1. So I finished row 5, and you can see it's taking shape nicely, and it has the nice open weave row. And for this row, row 6, we are joining with the slip stitch in the 3rd chain, and then we're only chaining 3 because we're just going to make a row of double crochets. So we're going to double crochet in that first double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet in that chain 1 space, and you do that by going right in that chain 1 space and stitching a double crochet. Then you double crochet in the next double crochet. Put some more yarn here, and then double crochet in that chain 1 space. And this is just giving us a double crochet row. Double crochet in the chain 1 space, and double crochet in the next double crochet. And so you can see what I did. I double crocheted in the same double crochet, then I double crocheted in the chain 1 space, double crochet, then double crochet in the chain 1 space, and we'll do this all the way around for a nice even row of double crochets. Then the next row we're going to do another row of the open weave. So you can see on here we have 2 rows of the open weave. Now for row 7, we're going to be repeating what we did here on row 5. So we're going to chain 4, counts as a double crochet and a chain 1 I should say. We're going to skip the next double crochet and double crochet in the next, chain 1, and then skip and double crochet. We'll do it just like we did row 5. Double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and double crochet in the next. And this is going to give us that second row, like the hat, of our open weave. Again, we'll do this all the way around, but then when we join, you only need to chain 1 because we're going to do a row of single crochet and finish off the band for the hat. So chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, and double crochet in the next. Oops, chain 1, skip this next double crochet, and double crochet in the next. All the way around row 7. I completed row 7. And now it's time to begin our hat band. And what we're going to do, like on this one, we're going to do 1 row of single crochet in the same color, and then we're going to do a row of single crochet in 2 different colors. And we're going to do that similar to how we did this row in here. We're going to place a single crochet in the first double crochet, and then we'll place a single crochet in that chain 1 space. Single crochet in the double crochet, and then a single crochet in that chain 1 space. And we'll do this all the way around, and then we'll join to that first single crochet, and then we're going to change colors. So single crochet in the double crochet, and single crochet in the chain 1 space. We did a row of single crochet. Now we're going to change colors. So we're going to cut our yarn. We're We're going to join in this blue, and this is just an accent row. Put those inside so we can weave those in later. And all we're going to do is place one single crochet in each single crochet around with the blue. And this is just an accent row for the hat band. On this one, the accent row is white, but we're doing it in blue because I think that blue and yellow look nice together. And remember, you can do your hats any color that you like or have on hand, and you can even use variegated. So we're stitching one row of single crochet in each single crochet around. One single crochet in each single crochet around, and then we'll join. But don't chain one because we're going to change colors again. So I finished my row of single crochets and I joined, but I didn't chain one. When you're changing colors, you always want to do that chain 1 or 2 or 3 after the color change, or you end up with one little loop or stitch that's the wrong color. So I'm going to work in my white, snug that blue down, and then I'm going to begin stitching a single crochet in each single crochet around. I need to snug that white one down a little better. There we go. So again, we are stitching one single crochet in each single crochet around. And this is the last row. This is the last row on our hat and on our hat band. And after we finish this row of single crochets, we'll join, we'll tie off, we'll weave in our ends, and then we'll make that pretty little 5-petal flower. I finished the last row on my hat with the white. I joined in the back, and then I tied off and tidied up my inside by weaving in my ends with a needle. And of course, always put that in the back. And there's our cute little hat. And it's really cute just like that. And I'm going to show you how to make that little flower like this pink one here. And I'm going to do that with brown in the center, and I'm going to use white for the petals so that it looks a little bit like a daisy. So we're going to make our slip knot, and we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. And then we're going to place 10 single crochets in that second chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one's a little bit loose. Let me tighten that down. There we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I've got 10 single crochets. I'm going to join to that first single crochet and chain 2. 1, 2. And that's the center of our flower. Now I'm changing color, so I'm not going to do that chain 2 just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and clip off my yarn. If you were keeping it the same color like this one, you would go ahead and chain 2. But since I'm changing colors, I'm not going to chain 2 till after my color change. So I'm putting my white in, snugging that down, and now I'm going to chain 2. 1, 2. And now we're going to make 5 petals. And the way we'll do that is in that same stitch that we chained 2, we're going to stitch 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to chain 2, And we're going to go right back in that same stitch with a slip stitch. There we go. Then we'll slip stitch in the next stitch and chain 2. 1, 2. And now we're going to go in the next stitch and stitch 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, slip stitch in that same stitch we were stitching the petal. There we go. And then we'll slip stitch in the next stitch and chain 2. That's 2 petals that are made. We slip stitched in the next stitch and chain 2. So now we're going to double crochet in the next single crochet. 1, 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, right back in that same place, same stitch, and slip stitch, then slip stitch in the next slip stitch, and chain 2. 1, 2. There's 3 petals made. Now we're going to go in the next stitch and stitch 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2. Slip stitch in that same spot and chain 2. 1, 2. So now we're going to double crochet in the next single. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, right back in that same spot with a slip stitch, and then we just slip stitch in the next single crochet and join to that very first chain. There we go. And tie off, and leave yourself a little bit of yarn, 12 inches or so, so you can sew your flower on. So we're going to go ahead and tie that off. And there's your flower. But it needs a little work, doesn't it? So what we're going to do is turn it over, pull those strings in, and we're going to take that center piece of yarn and close up that little hole. So we're just going to thread our needle, and we're going to go around those stitches that we made with the first single crochet stitches. And we're just going to go around there till we get back over, and we're just going to gently pull that in. And then I'm going to take those 2 tails and snug that down with just a couple of knots. There we go. And now the hole in the center is closed. All right. Let's go ahead and weave in this short white one so that it's not in the way. And I'm going to go ahead and go around those 2 stitches just to make sure they lay pretty. There we go. Make sure when you're weaving in your white, though, you don't go into the brown or you'll have some white show through. There we go. Snug that down. All right, and now our flower is ready to be sewn on our little hat. So I'm going to thread my needle, decide where I want it. I like to sew it on to this area here where we have a little bit to work with, and I just go underneath, and I just kind of stitch across the petals. This way they'll kind of still stand up and be pretty, but they'll stay put. Turn it around. Pull it out, make sure it's nice and snug. Then we're going to turn it upside down and just weave in those ends, because we want our flower to stay in nice and snug. Remember, when you're weaving in, to go in stitches, not in holes, or you end up coming undone. One more good stitch. And it's really important that you sew this on good, because this is going to be played with. And there's our little American Girl or 18-inch doll hat. Now tomorrow will be our Friday, the next couple of days anyway. We'll have the little girl version ready so that you can make one for your doll and one for the little girl. This is our spring Dolly and Me hat set.